You check it every day. It wakes you up. It tells you when to eat, when to work, when to sleep. But have you ever stopped to ask, where did the clock come from? We take it for granted now, that steady tick-tock or glowing digital display, but the history of timekeeping is one of humanity's most fascinating stories. It's a tale of astronomy, religion, war, trade, science, and obsession. So today, we're winding back the gears of history to uncover the hidden story of the clock. Because believe it or not, how we tell time has shaped everything: how we travel, how we work, how we think. Let's begin. Time before clocks, the first timekeepers. Long before gears and springs, humans looked to the sky. Sundials. The ancient Egyptians were among the first to use sundials around 1500 BC. A stick in the ground could tell you the time, but only on sunny days. Water clocks, clepsydras. The Babylonians, Greeks, and Chinese used flowing water to measure time. Water would drip or pour from one container to another at a steady rate. Candle clocks and hourglasses, burning wax and falling sand were later used to track time, especially indoors or at night. But none of these methods were precise. And more importantly, they weren't standardized. A day in one village could be measured differently than a day in another. So what changed? The monks who brought time to life. Here's something unexpected. It was religious devotion that gave us the first mechanical clocks. During the Middle Ages, European monks needed to pray at specific times throughout the day and night. To stay on schedule, they built increasingly complex mechanical devices to ring bells at the right moments. The first mechanical clocks appeared in monasteries around the 13th century. These early machines didn't have faces or hands. They simply rang bells at set intervals. But they introduced a radical idea: time as a mechanical, measurable force. And once people began to hear those bells regularly, something profound happened. Time became external. It moved beyond sun and stars. It became something you could hear, feel, and obey. From towers to pockets, clocks go public. By the 14th and 15th centuries, mechanical clocks were being installed in city towers across Europe. These public clocks were massive, loud, and symbolic. Symbol of power. To build a public clock was to declare civic pride and technological prowess. Tool for commerce. Merchants now had a shared sense of time, allowing for scheduled markets and coordinated trade. Eventually, clockmakers miniaturized their work. By the 16th century, portable clocks, and later pocket watches, were the rage among the wealthy elite. Timekeeping became personal. The quest for precision. As clocks got smaller, they also got better. And there was one massive reason to improve them: navigation. During the age of exploration, sailors needed to know not just the time of day, but their precise longitude at sea. And that required extremely accurate clocks. Enter John Harrison, an 18th-century English carpenter who built the first marine chronometer. His invention saved lives, ships, and fortunes, and helped Britain rule the waves. At the same time, pendulum clocks back on land were achieving incredible precision, sometimes accurate to within a few seconds per week. Time had become an exact science. Time, trains, and standardization. The 19th century brought trains, and trains brought a whole new time crisis. Before railroads, each town kept its own local time. Noon was whenever the sun was directly overhead. But trains needed schedules. And schedules needed standard time. So in 1884, world leaders agreed to divide the globe into 24 time zones, anchored by Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, in London. For the first time in history, the whole world was telling time the same way. The 9 to 5. Time goes industrial. As clocks entered homes and factories, they began shaping daily life in ways we barely notice today. Factory whistles replaced church bells. Punch clocks replaced sundials. Wristwatches replaced pocket watches. The Industrial Revolution turned time into money. Workers were paid by the hour. Every minute counted. And so, a new kind of human emerged, one ruled by the clock. The atomic age of time. You might think modern digital clocks are just smaller versions of older ones. But they're radically different. Today, the most accurate timekeepers are atomic clocks, which measure the vibrations of atoms, specifically cesium-133 atoms. These clocks are so precise that they lose only 1 second every 100 million years. And they don't just power your watch or phone. GPS systems, internet time servers, financial markets, global communications, all rely on atomic time. Time has never been more exact, or more invisible. Philosophical twist: what is time, really? With all our measuring, tracking, and syncing, one question still remains. What is time? Physicists, philosophers, and mystics have all debated it. Is time a flowing river or a human-made construct? Is it linear or circular? Can it be bent, slowed, or even reversed? Einstein showed that time is relative. It moves slower near massive objects, or at high speeds. So while your clock ticks away in the kitchen, time itself may not be ticking the same way everywhere else. Fun facts you never knew about clocks. The phrase "a clock" comes from of the clock to distinguish mechanical time from solar time. The doomsday clock isn't a real clock, it's a symbolic countdown to global catastrophe. Big Ben is actually the name of the bell, not the clock or the tower. The first alarm clock could only ring at 4 a.m., seriously. Final thoughts. So the next time you glance at the time, whether on your phone, your microwave, or a giant tower in the city, take a moment to appreciate the strange and surprising journey that got us here. From the shadows of a sundial to the pulses of an atom, our need to measure time has changed how we live, how we think, and even how we define ourselves. Time isn't just a number on a screen. It's the rhythm of our lives. The invisible framework that holds society together. It tells us when to meet, when to rest, when to remember. It gives shape to everything, from daily routines to history books. We've built entire civilizations around time. We wake up to alarms. We chase deadlines. We count down to events and track our lives in birthdays, anniversaries, and calendars. Without even realizing it, we're always dancing to the rhythm of ticking seconds. And yet, for all our precision, time still slips through our fingers. It moves whether we notice or not. Whether we're watching the clock or lost in a moment. Maybe that's the final secret of the clock. Not to make us more efficient, but to remind us how precious every second really is. Because no matter how advanced our technology becomes, we can't buy time, rewind it, or save it for later. We can only live it, intentionally, gratefully, and fully aware that each tick is a gift we only get once. So maybe the true purpose of timekeeping isn't just to organize life, but to inspire us to live it more meaningfully. To spend less time watching the clock, and more time watching the sunset. To put down the stopwatch, and pick up the conversation. To remember that even in our most ordinary moments, time is doing something extraordinary, passing, shaping, and reminding us we're alive. If this journey through the ticking world of timekeeping made you pause and think, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the things we often overlook. Let us know in the comments. What's your favorite kind of clock? A sundial, a pocket watch, or the atomic kind? Until next time, keep ticking, keep wondering, and keep making time count.